Traders, welcome back to another video. Guys, today we're going to be addressing a question, and the question is, how many hours are required in order for you to be a profitable trader? How many hours should you trade in a day, right? When day trading, when scalping momentum. Guys, we'll hear in the community 1 hour a day can keep the jobs away, right? And that is true, right? That is true, but it isn't the only answer here, right? There's a lot of different answers. So we'll start off with 1 hour, right? The open is very popular, right? The open and the close, the power hour, the close, very popular. Usually stocks are very volatile, momentum is at its peak, and there's a lot of different opportunities in those first 2 hours. So you'll have some traders who will literally only trade the open and the close every single day. They don't trade any other point in time throughout the day, not lunchtime, not anything. But what I will say is that no matter what time of day you do trade, you can see opportunities, you can see profits, you can see returns as long as you are a consistent trader and you're experienced with that particular point in time in the day that you're trading, right? Because there are some differences. It's a little tricky. What works in the first hour might not work in hour number 4, right? When we are approaching lunchtime. So those are the type of things you do want to keep in mind when we do address this question. Now, what about after hours and pre-market, right? Extended hours. Because as we know, the stock market will open up at 9:30 Eastern, right? Officially, but there are extended hours, right, guys? Pre-market. Some people are coming in since 4 a.m., some 5 a.m., 6, 7, 8 a.m. And taking trades, and sometimes after the close, going all the way to 5, 6 p.m., right? So most traders that are scalping are usually trading the first hour, I've come to realize over time, right? In terms of momentum, right? Hot stocks that are flying like crazy, they're usually trading the first hour or two, and from there they kind of ease down. That's kind of where I fit in the bracket. Now, what I've been doing recently is sticking around, right? I've been sticking around, and a lot of the days all the way until the close, so till 4 p.m. Eastern time, and you start to notice a couple of things, man. Sometimes these stocks will give a move pre-market, they'll come into the open, and they'll be sideways in a consolidation. Maybe we get some opportunities or something, but then a lot of the days, and sometimes it's a bit of a trend. Some weeks will be different than others, but maybe around 11:50, right, late morning, or maybe around 1:30, 2 p.m., we start to see another incline to the upside. So there's different things you can pick up on when you're trading different points in times or for a longer duration altogether. And so in order to be profitable, it just depends on the trader and their experience, their skill level. Some people can literally trade at any moment in the day because they come in, they'll follow their rules, they'll be very disciplined towards what type of setups they're looking for, and they'll be able to see some sort of consistency, right? But sometimes we can get into trouble trading in unfamiliar time frames because the stocks can be a little bit more choppy. We can see some bigger drop-offs. But what I do know is that some traders, who have different styles, different strategies, are able to trade different durations of the day differently, right? So they'll trade the first 2 hours, let's say breakouts, momentum trading, scalping, and then once we get later into the day, maybe they're trading a stock that they have some sort of specialty in that they've been watching for a while. Let's say stocks like Roku, AMC, Tesla, Apple. I mean, we see it a lot. A lot of traders or even, we can't limit it there. The Qs, right? The QQQ, the SQ. There's like all of these different variations of the markets as well. The SPY traders sometimes will have a bit of a specialty in that area, and they'll also look for opportunities there. So it's about finding the green in the market, right? Finding the strategies and the setups that you're comfortable with, despite the time being different. And so that's one way, or the other, of course, is trading a completely different strategy altogether, right? Some people probably will go long in the first 2 hours of the day, then they probably go short the remaining 2 hours. Maybe they're trading 4 hours in a day. It all depends, right? There's no one size fit all, because there are people who are green pre-market, there are people who are red pre-market, there are people who are green intraday, people who are red intraday, likewise with after hours. So it definitely is one of those questions where it varies a little bit. For me, I'm primarily trading the first hour very actively. From there, I would usually ease off, but I am not limited to the first hour, because if I'm here and something starts to move at any point in time, as long as it's fitting my criteria and it's checking off on my checklist for different things that I look for before trading, best believe that I will be trading. But I do approach the later day. I do approach the later trading session a little differently than I do the morning, right? Because now I have something to lose, right? And that is my profits on the day. And there might even be a day where I'm red and I'm still, here in the market. And so I have rules, right? Different rules for the longer I go throughout the day. One of those rules is to reduce size as the day goes on, because, imagine if you're very close to your max loss and you're still hanging around, you see something that looks really good and you get long, you get in with full size, and happens to be a false breakout or a flush down. Maybe you're buying the dip goes lower, and so you get caught in a nasty drop. I have certain rules to protect myself in those situations. Now, another rule that I have is to, if I am green, I have a trailing stop set on my P&L, right? And this is not a physical trailing stop or manual trailing stop in the broker, but something that I'll tell myself mentally, hey, if I'm up 500 on the day and I see something moving really well in the afternoon, what am I comfortable losing, right? And this is how we manage risk. Hey, you know what? I'm up 500 now, but I don't mind if I end this day up, let's say 400 or 350. So that way my risk is $100 or 150, right? Depending on which number I go with. And from there, I can size appropriately. Hey, I know that, okay, when I'm trading with 2,000 shares, it's very, very easy to have a loss of 150 or more. So I'll size down from 2,000 shares, let's say down to 800 shares. With 800 shares, if I lose 10 cents, that's $80. So I give myself 2 stabs to be able to see some consistency, then to build, right? One of my other rules if I want to get aggressive, right? I do start off with that small size, and once I see some gains, I can then risk off of what I've made and then increase size to get aggressive as the stock continues higher into the afternoon, right? I've traded after hours once, right? I've traded the post market once, and that was a good day. I think I was up like 250. Pre-market I've traded a bunch of times, but pre-market, with how the volume is so low, it's a little bit of a different ball game compared to intraday at the open, where volume is usually at its highest and there's lots of volatility, lots of action. So pre-market for me, I'm actually red pre-market overall about 700, right? And guys, I'm to put it in comparison, right? I'm someone who's very profitable during the open, during intraday. And so, to be red pre-market, it goes to show that there is some sort of difference there. And if you're not disciplined enough to wait for exactly what you want, you can get yourself in trouble. And that's what's happened to me. There'll be days where something starts to move a little bit. You think it looks good. You jump in, you get blazed. You're starting the day down $100. So, and that's happened to me many a times, man, many a times. But I think it all has to do with consistency. If you're going to be looking to trade a different time of the day, you have to be consistent with it. Consistency is so key in the market, guys. Consistency will hit on so many levels for you, right? And so, hey, if you decide you want to trade pre-market, and you decide, okay, 7 a.m. is the time for me. You have to wake up early and you have to prepare early. And when we say 7 a.m., it doesn't mean you're getting out of bed 7 a.m. It means that your computer is on, you're logged in, you're ready to go at 7 a.m. Right? So you got to wake up at 6 a.m., 6:30, whatever it might mean for each of you individually. So you got to be consistent with the time frame so that you can see everything and learn all the nuances of that specific duration of time. And so pre-market, for me, that was one of the things I needed to work on, was consistency, because some days you'll show up, there's nothing. You show up for a week, there's nothing. You start to say, okay, you're going back to bed, and then before you know it, Monday comes along, you wake up late because you think there's nothing, and then something is there. You missed a big move, right? You have to be there consistent every single day, right? Every single day, and you'll be able to learn all the ins and outs of that time frame, what to expect, what not to expect, and you'll be able to gain consistency in your trading, right? In your P&L. So, and that applies for every time frame throughout the day, right? Like, and one thing I've noticed, and this might not be the case anymore, but like 2 years ago when I used to watch large caps, whenever the lunch hour would come, the stocks used to always trend in the opposite direction. And then when lunch hour is over, it used to continue again. I don't know if that's the case, and that was a long time ago, but those are small things you can pick up on, which can lead to more gains, right? But ultimately, what I would say is that the longer you're trading in a day, if you're keeping your focus, if you're keeping your discipline at all-time highs without dropping off, I think you will see more gains in the market. I think it only makes sense because we see opportunities all the time, and if you're here longer, more than likely, the more money you will make. But once again, it comes down to that discipline, consistency, and the approach of how you're, following and creating rules as you go through. Because, you might realize, okay, you need to add and implement some rules or change some rules for, the time frame that you're trading. You might not want to be very aggressive pre-market, let's say max size pre-market, because then you might hit max loss before the day even begins at 9:30. And how do you handle that? So trading the different time frames will bring about different rules that you might have to put in place depending on what's going on. So that's where I'll end this one, as we have some comments there in the Discord. Guys, be sure to check out the links down below. The first link will be for the Mometic scanner, which is this scanner right here, right? Mometic Momo Pro, code Relentless for 25% off there. Be sure to check out the Discord. The Discord is a chat room service. It's 100% free, so be sure to check it out. You can get it on your phone, iOS and Android, and of course you can download it on your PC for the application version, or just through browser if you want to do it that way, right? So check out the Discord, check out the Facebook and Instagram pages down below as well. Guys, it's been Relentless Trader. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, turn on the notification, and I am signing out.